Real cases. Real people. Real justice. This is Judge Judy. Cut to courtroom. Judge Judy enters. Everyone stands. Bailiff. All rise. The Honorable Judge Judith Scheindlin presiding. Court is now in session. Judge Judy. Thank you. Be seated. She shuffles papers. Looks up sternly. All right. Case number 4287. Martinez versus Thompson. What do we have here? Case introduction. Bailiff. Your Honor. The plaintiff Rosa Martinez is suing her former friend Deborah Thompson for $3,000. She claims Ms. Thompson borrowed money to start a catering business and never paid her back. Judge Judy. Ms. Martinez, you're the plaintiff. Step up to the podium. Ms. Thompson, you too. Both women approach nervously. Judge Judy. Ms. Martinez, tell me what happened. And please, just the facts. I don't need your life story. Rosa Martinez. Well, Your Honor, Deborah and I were best friends for 15 years. Last April, she came to me crying about wanting to start her own catering business. She said, Judge Judy, excuse me, did she come to you for a loan or a gift? Rosa. A loan, Your Honor. She promised to pay me back in 6 months. Judge Judy, do you have this promise in writing? Rosa. Well, no, but... Judge Judy. Stop. Do you have anything in writing? A contract? A napkin? A text message? Rosa. I have text messages where she talks about the business and says she'll pay me back soon. Judge Judy. Good. Give those to my bailiff. Continue. Rosa. So I gave her $3,000 from my savings. She said she needed it for kitchen equipment and initial supplies. I trusted her completely. We were like sisters. Judge Judy. When was payment supposed to happen? Rosa. October 15th. 6 months from when I gave her the money. But October came and went. When I asked her, she said the business was struggling and she needed more time. Judge Judy. And you said? Rosa. I said okay because I understood starting a business is hard. But then November passed. December passed. I kept asking, and she kept making excuses. Judge Judy. What kind of excuses? Rosa. First it was slow business. Then her equipment broke down. Then she said her car needed repairs. Every month. A different story. Judge Judy. Ms. Thompson. I'm looking at you and you're shaking your head. What's your version? Deborah Thompson. Your Honor, everything she said is basically true, but she's leaving out important details. Judge Judy. I'm listening. Deborah. Yes, I borrowed the money. Yes, I started a catering business. But Rosa knew it was risky. She said if the business failed, I wouldn't have to pay her back. Judge Judy. Stop right there. She said you wouldn't have to pay her back? Deborah. Yes, Your Honor. Judge Judy. So this was a gift disguised as a loan? Deborah. Not exactly. She said. Judge Judy. Ms. Thompson, I've been doing this for over 20 years. Don't play word games with me. Either it was a loan or it was a gift. Which was it? Deborah. It was a loan, but with the understanding that if my business completely failed, she wouldn't force me to pay. Judge Judy. Did your business completely fail? Deborah. No, it's still running. Judge Judy. Then you owe her the money. This isn't complicated. Deborah. But Your Honor, I'm barely making ends meet. I'm only bringing in about $800 a month after expenses. Judge Judy. That's not her problem. That's your problem. You borrowed money, you need to pay it back. Judge Judy. Ms. Martinez. Did you ever tell her she wouldn't have to pay you back if the business failed? Rosa. No, I never said that. I said I understood businesses take time to become profitable, but I always expected my money back. Judge Judy. Ms. Thompson, do you have any witnesses or evidence that she said you wouldn't have to repay the loan if your business failed? Deborah. No, but... Judge Judy. Then it didn't happen. In my courtroom, if you don't have proof, it's just hot air. Deborah. Your Honor, I can pay her back. But I need time. Maybe $50 a month? Judge Judy. $50 a month? At that rate, it'll take her 5 years to get her money back. Did she agree to be your personal bank with a 60-month payment plan? Judge Judy. Ms. Martinez, show me these text messages. Bailiff hands Judge Judy a phone. Judge Judy, let's see what we have here. Reading. Thanks so much for the loan. I promise I'll have it all back to you by October. That's pretty clear. Continues reading. I know I said October, but I just need a few more weeks. That's November. Keep scrolling. Please be patient with me. I haven't forgotten what I owe you. That's January of this year. Looks up at Deborah. Ms. Thompson, these messages show you clearly acknowledged this was a loan that needed to be repaid. Deborah. Yes, Your Honor. Judge Judy, here's what I think happened. You two were friends. You had a dream. She helped you. But now that dream is harder than you expected, and you want to escape your obligation. Deborah. That's not fair, Your Honor. Judge Judy, life's not fair. But contracts are. You made a promise. You took her money. You started a business. Whether that business thrives or barely survives, you still owe her. Deborah. But I really am struggling. Judge Judy. Then get a second job. Work weekends. That's what responsible people do when they owe money. They don't make excuses, they make payments. Judge Judy. Ms. Martinez. Did you do any research before lending this money? Did you ask to see a business plan? Did you discuss payment terms in detail? Rosa. No, Your Honor. I trusted her. Judge Judy. That was foolish. Never lend money to friends or family without treating it like a business transaction. Get it in writing. Set clear terms. Because when money enters a relationship, friendship often exits. Rosa. I learned that the hard way. Judge Judy. Well, today you're going to learn something else. You're going to learn that this court enforces legitimate debts. Judge Judy. Ms. Thompson, I'm ordering you to pay Ms. Martinez the full $3,000. However, I'm going to structure this reasonably. You'll pay $200 per month for 15 months. That's more realistic than $50, but still takes your financial situation into account. Deborah. $200? Your Honor. Judge Judy. Don't interrupt me. If you miss even one payment, the entire balance becomes due immediately. Do you understand? Deborah. Yes, Your Honor. Judge Judy. Ms. Martinez, you'll receive $200 per month starting next month. This is a legal judgment. If she doesn't pay, you can garnish her wages or her business income. Rosa. Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Judy. Let me give both of you some free advice. Ms. Thompson, integrity matters more than money. When you borrow something, you return it. That's basic human decency. If you can't afford to repay a loan, you can't afford to borrow in the first place. Ms. Martinez, choose your friends more carefully. And never, ever lend money you can't afford to lose. If you do lend it, get everything in writing and treat it like the business transaction it is. Both women. Yes, Your Honor. Judge Judy. This case is dismissed. We're adjourned. Rosa. How do you feel about the judgment? Rosa. I'm relieved. I knew I was right. I just wanted my money back and for Deborah to take responsibility. Interviewer to Deborah. What are your thoughts? Deborah. I'm disappointed, but I understand. I should have been more responsible. I'll make those payments even if it's hard. Justice was served today in Judge Judy's courtroom. A broken promise was made right, and a valuable lesson was learned. Friendship and money don't always mix, but honesty and responsibility always matter. Fade to black with Judge Judy's final words echoing. Jud veo. If it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Don't forget like and subscribe.